Welcome back, everybody. After a very brief intermission, the Red Emberz big run, I should say, is at its tail end here. I am DRF, joined by Vapor to bring you home on this wonderful evening, a quintuple header for the ages. I don't think we've ever had anything quite like that, Vapor.
Yeah, it's not something you see too often, and especially here at the CCA, we usually cap ourselves as streamers at 3 sets per night. This time, I hit 4. We also had the one on Splatoon tourney hosted by Falco, Saf, and Toma earlier today. So that is 5 sets in a row for CCA action.
I will just say I'm very glad that Falco and Splatoon tourney exist. Shout out to them. We love the folks over there. So they did a fantastic job covering our first Saturday evening. But let's go ahead and get started here. Red Emberz, one more time for you all, rounding out this late night CCA League match against Reef Runners out in California, Cal Poly Pomona. They're going to get started here. Splat zones on, I believe, was this Mako Mart? I actually didn't pay attention.
This is Robo Ramen.
No. Okay, got it.
Right? Yeah, this is Robo Ramen.
No, you're correct. It is Robo. I just didn't see the map earlier, but let's go ahead and dive on in. Red Emberz, if you've been watching the past 2 hours, you should know what to expect out of them. But the Reef Runners, been a minute since we have seen them here. They're going to be coming out with that CDS E-Leader Enzap Octoshot combination. So definitely a pretty unique combination of weapons here that you won't really see out of many other teams.
Yeah, definitely. You don't see much E-Leader action, and you don't see much or too much Octoshot action. Yeah, it's a skin of the T-Tech, but not too often you see it in compared to other forms of a splatter shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see Reef Runners. They're going to be taking the lead here early on. At this point, Fatigue playing a role here for Red Emberz, but they're going to go ahead and continue holding strong. They flip the zone, quickly going to be out of the penalty, and a nice Zuka shot there. Now it's going to be 2 down on the side of Red Emberz, but Reef Runners, having been down a couple members themselves, slow to get back to the zone here. Going to buy Red Emberz plenty of time to reestablish their position in the zone, but Reef Runners should find the pick here plus the zone. And now with a minute and a half into this game, Reef Runners are actually sitting in a pretty nice position, but of course when there's a brush, there's a rat.
Yeah, especially with those whales just dragging themselves down to get that E-Leader. It will be the tech on the behind to pick off Corona Beer on that brush, but this is advantage Red Emberz early on.
It is, but these teams have really been going back and forth to start out the first 2 minutes here, as Reef Runners are actually in the driver's seat now. It's actually just Solo that's having to hold on. Reef Runners will get the lead here, but Solo getting a nice pick there will provide an opportunity for their team to work their way back to the zone. Corona Beer gonna have to make a 180 flick there, able to do so, but not gonna find a second pick as Wendell will shut him down. Wendell diving into this zone will help Reef Runners hold on here, but the Zuka, I think, got 2 massive Zuka shot by Zolo. This zone should flip once again.
Yeah, zone will end up flipping here. It took a little bit extra with low ink, but I'm surprised Corona Beer is still able to keep up with this rush. As you were saying earlier, Fatigue, and especially with some ink brush gameplay, that click speed can be very, very hurtful on your hands, especially in long sessions like this one. So really good job from Corona Beer to keep up that click speed, and especially the rest of Red Emberz for holding this super high offense.
Yeah, it's phenomenal to see what they can do after 2 hours and 14 games of high intensity gameplay. And at this point, with 2 down on either side, this zone still staying in control of Red Emberz, but Reef Runner's going to dive the zone here, going to get punished for it, as it seemed like Red Emberz was quick to get back in, and Red Emberz will take game number 1. Reef Runners, though, put up a really good fight there, a lot of back and forth, but I feel like that's kind of been the story of tonight's run from Red Emberz, is that they typically find themselves in a deficit. Like half these games, they have been in deficits, sizable deficits at that, and still managed to find a way to come back and get the lead late. And that's exactly what we saw here once again. Reef Runners did a fantastic job of holding the lead for quite some time, but of course, Red Emberz, number 1 seed for a reason.
Yeah, and we've been saying that all night. They were seeded number 1 overall. They decided on themselves to make this a huge run. This is all of their remaining matches. They are 4-0 throughout the season, with 2 of them played earlier tonight.
And only dropping a single game thus far. And that's honestly pretty impressive. I feel like they would have faltered a little bit more given the circumstances that they have found themselves in, but they have really taken this in stride and done a phenomenal job of putting themselves in good position after good position. Now on the season here, they are 17-1 in individual games. Of course, we're only counting the games that matter. There's been a lot of friendly playoff sevens, which again, they're also crazy for. I would fully take advantage of the breaks in between each set, but they're using it as a way to consistently stay warm. But now we head into game number 2 shortly. Tower Control, Manta Maria. And Reef Runners, though, Vapor, I think that they had a lot of really good looks there. I think that they just found themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time just once or twice that caused that swing to go Red Ember's way. But Reef Runners had a lot of really clean clean picks and controls of the zone. And I really feel like this could be an opportunity for them to start to pick up some momentum. I think Manta Tower Control could fit their composition a little bit better, but of course, you always gotta watch out for rats.
Yeah, and I want to go back a little bit more with history of Red Emberz from Illinois State. Last season, they were in the same group as Reef Runners, where Reef Runners did get the win over them. And
that is true. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, they are the only team in CCA history to make playoffs, going 2-3 overall out of groups. And once they started playing more together as a team throughout, they started to dive through everyone. So with them wanting to play all these games consecutively, that just gives them more synergy together at one time.
Or they'll just be at each other's throats by the end of this, because by game number 20, I would be telling you, Vapor, like, bro, shut up. I've already heard this call out 20 times. So, with a nice Zuka shot there from Zolo to get things kicked off for Red Emberz in this first push here on Manta Tower Control. And Love Trial finding another Zuka pick. So the double Zuka working very well so far, as Red Emberz finding themselves in a fantastic position. Wendell gonna finally get a pick there on Corona, trying to get the double here. Looks like they're in a position to do so, not gonna be able to find a pick though, as this tower reaches 41 points remaining. But the fact that these jumps are coming in from that left side as well, definitely not a great place for Reef Runners. But hey, I think that split actually worked out in Reef Runners' favor there though.
Yeah, yes, it split up a little bit. It allows for a stronger defense, but with everyone getting up into your top left snipe area, and even on this ramp where Zolo is currently, this is a hard position to lose once the opponent is already up there. And we also see 2 other members of Red Emberz on that left side. Double Zuka out. Cooler on the tower. Blaster is trying to poke, but this double Blaster comp from the Reef runners is struggling to get in.
Oh, and there we go. Some nice picks from Reef Runners, but Wendell's gonna go down to a bomb. The jumps are coming in. This is Splatoon 1 gameplay we are seeing here. And the Splatoon 1 servers may have been shut down, but Red Emberz are playing the gimmicks like it's the same.
Yeah, they're always there. They're always just dragging themselves back in, and they just always want the fight and to keep those numbers advantage. They always have someone as a distraction. It's the power of anchoring to get your teammates back in very quickly.
Absolutely. A stellar job there from Red Emberz. I honestly really thought that Reef Runners would find themselves, in a or have a better game here, but at the same time, they did switch up their comp quite a bit from the previous game. I wasn't super anticipating that, and with the double blaster composition, that it is playing with fire because you're sacrificing so much ink to be able to have that aggression and chip damage around the tower, be able to play the ledges that really defined Manta Maria and tower control nonetheless. So I understand why they went with that composition. It's just, like I said, you're playing with fire there. So if you end up losing some of those key fights, things will snowball out of control, and Red Emberz managed to punish that.
Yeah, Red Emberz was there. They took those team fights together, as you said, and punished it to their advantage. They always had numbers when taking those fights as well.
Certainly, every single time, and like I had said, it was basically watching Splatoon 1 gameplay because they were constantly just getting jump in after jump in, and they were just not going to let that tower reel all the way back to mid. I think they did once, but even so, I think they still grabbed the tower before it reached all the way to true neutral. So it was just taking advantage of the stealth jumps, getting your teammates back in as quickly as possible, and Reef Runners just never got a breath in because they needed a full wipe. There was always one person that stuck around to just stay safe enough to get the rest of the team in and then pop off altogether.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's always just, well, can we keep this forward aggression up? Do we have the numbers to keep up this aggression as well? And that's what's been going on through Red Ember's mind. And especially if we want to take a quick peek at their keys to victory, it states that they need to play steady because of the amount of stamina they are losing.
Yeah, that's a good mindset here. I also commend Red Emberz for actually having like keys to victory, like different keys to victory for each of these games. So they really put some thought into this, and this is what it's going to take to play at a high level for 3 straight hours. And they've got the right mindset to pull it off. So dropping only 1 game so far, pretty impressive. Reef Runners, Red Emberz diving on into game 3 here. It is Sturgeon Rainmaker. And right off the bat, we do see Red Emberz in possession of the Rainmaker. They're going to get first points on the board and possibly even a checkpoint the way this is going.
Yeah, that is an effective wipe right there. Cliff will bring the fish all the way to that checkpoint. And already Love Trial and Corona Beer going up in their spawn, trying to be those rats that they are.
That's wild. I have never seen a Sturgeon Rainmaker game go as quickly as that did. That was 2 wipes. And the first wipe led to the checkpoint, the second wipe led to the KO. Quick succession. I mean, you don't get Rainmaker games going that fast in Splatoon 3.
Even when we go back to this replay, I usually set my replays down to like 20 to 30 seconds. we're basically at the very beginning when they picked up the Rainmaker is where the replay starts until the very end. Like, we see that first wipe, and already everyone getting up top. Corona Beer going around the backside with Love Trial holding the front with that Zuka, and just like that, there's another wipe right there, and they just run it straight forward.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know the last time I have seen a sub 1 minute Rainmaker game. Sub 45 second Rainmaker game. That's if I had to guess, at least within the Splatoon 3 era, that's gotta be close to a CCA record. I will definitely have our stats team poked for that one, because now I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, that was definitely a very quick Rainmaker game, and I don't think anyone can say otherwise with that. Like, that went very quickly, and now we are on to Clam Blitz. These are the Week 1 maps, since they were supposed to play it during Week 1, but ended up having to reschedule. And down to Crab Leg Capital Clam Blitz, where, yes, Kraken is very strong, but I don't know how powerful it will be, especially with how fast Red Emberz is playing.
That is true, because in a way, Kraken almost slows you down, because you have to let the Kraken lead the push. And it's otherwise, and everyone just needs to kind of sit back in the meantime. So I don't think either team's really going to pull this one out here. I mean, maybe Reef Runners. We'll see here in just a second as we do load into game number 4. But Reef Runners has been coming out with all sorts of different weapons so far. And once again, they are going for a full change up. The Octo Shot, the only one that's been consistent throughout this entire set. It will switch back to those CDS. But we are going to get the E-Leader with Kraken, and Zolo on the side of Red Emberz bringing out a Kraken as well, so it will be a Kraken on Kraken showdown.
Yeah, this is the only thing I'm somewhat worried about, the speed. How much will it slow down Red Emberz? But we can see is not slowing down Corona Beer at all right now.
No, the Kraken cheese, I think, is more of an insurance policy for Red Emberz, at least the way that they're opening this right now. For Reef Runners, I do think it will be more of an integral part of their offense. But first, they do need to get the shutdown here, which they will be able to do. So very fortunate that Red Emberz did not take advantage of that top left grate, and they were able to get them out as quickly as possible. So Red Emberz, though, doing a fantastic job here, now pushed up significantly as Corona Beer. Jansen, trying to get the E-Leader, does so, will finally get picked off as Reef Runners spawns back in. So Reef Runners doing everything they can to break out here, but once again, you never are safe until you get the wipeout, and they might have 2 down now. Luckily, they do actually see where the remaining 2 members are. They're going to be on the other side of the map. So it will be just a little bit of a slowdown for Red Emberz right now, and I think that's exactly what Reef Runners needs in this stage. Yeah,
the Reef Runners does like to play for the slow game, but Red Emberz likes playing the fast game just like that. Another wipeout in favor of Red Emberz, 36 remaining. It is going to be Cliff trying to move back in with 7 additional clams, and just like that, all of those get in, plus a few more. Zolo driving in as well, trying to find a few more clams. Love Trial going down. Zolo keeping that offensive pressure, but the basket will close. 78 points on the board.
And look at Corona. Look at Corona. Corona's up in the top left here, getting ready for another power clam jump. Just wait for the basket to come back down. I think it is there. Here comes the jump. Or maybe not. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so they will get the power clamp. No! A great call out there by Galonka. Galonka coming up huge here with a double. And this could be the tide turning just a little bit. So Galonka coming up with a massive double and breathe some life into Reef Runners.
Yeah. holding on to that basket is all Reef Runners needs right now. They need to work for that team play, but it's just a lot of rats all up in their face, and that's all Red Emberz is doing. They're no longer birds, they're just rats at this point.
Oh, and here comes the push to try to end it all. Blanca coming in once again, trying to find a couple of picks, able to push at least one player with four clans out of the way, but loses the fight, and that should be game. The last clan to put the nail in the coffin, and Red Emberz says, good night. We will clean this one up, and it's 1:24. Actually, no, I guess they're Central Time. Wait, yeah, are they Central or Eastern?
They're Central, same time zone as Chicago.
Okay, gotcha. So it is 12:24 at Illinois State University. Let's see, but they seem like that they're gonna go ahead and call it quits. Actually, no, never mind. It seems like that they are going to agree to play all 7. They said, hey, we're having fun, and those games went quick. So, if I'm reading this correctly, Vapor, they're going to do the full 21.
It would be very, very interesting if they do end up doing the full 21 games, like, throughout this night. Like, all of them in a row is just crazy. So we'll see if they are crazy enough to do it, which, knowing Corona, they definitely are.
A bunch of mad lads over at Illinois State University. Gosh, never change. Well, that is going to be the set, though. We do have confirmation that they will go ahead and do to play all 7. So we've got 3 more games, Vapor. But as far as the record books are concerned, this is a 4-0 in Red Emberz' favor. And funny enough, Red Emberz went from the team that had to play the most sets to the first Division 1 team to play all their sets, which is an interesting turn of fate here. So they have, as of tonight, punched their ticket to the playoffs, secured the number 1 seed out of their group. They haven't secured the number 1 seed out of all the 1 seeds. They have to wait for the UCSD Banana split matchup to finish, as UCSD, if they complete the sweep there, they will finish with the best record of all the 1 seeds. So that will remain to be seen, but at the very least, they will finish top 2 in the regular season.
And that's all that matters for Red Emberz. Like, you just want to make playoffs. That's your goal. Just make playoffs and then show up during playoffs.
Certainly. And actually, sorry, I will go ahead and correct myself here. VCU also still maintaining a perfect season thus far. So they still have matches against GMU and PSU. So things can certainly be happening there, but we have 2 teams that are still in the running for a perfect season. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see. Of course, not all these teams can end up being perfect at the end of the day, but we certainly could have 2 that finish with perfect regular seasons.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to find out if we do end up having a perfect team throughout this regular season, and we'll just get right into this 5th game as Red Emberz tries to clean up what they have started.
Certainly, and we are off here. Going to be seeing a couple of mix-ups now, as Red Emberz has said, we like the killer whale. So much so that we're going to bring out 4 of them. So, I don't know, does that make this like a killer whale 20.4? Is that how that works?
I guess so. Like, look at all those.
Can we just combine them all to make one giant killer whale, like Splatoon 1 style?
I mean, just use them all at the same time, then what could go wrong? And that's kind of what they're doing. They're just staggering out their whales as much as possible to make it last as long as possible. Like, here's another one out from Love Trial, and they're just doing the nice little funny spawn camp thing at this point.
Damn, that's wild. Reef runners doing everything they can. They do get a couple of picks here, so they will get a chance to work their way back into the zone. But oh, it's Galanka. Oh, let's go Galanka. All right, objective-based player here coming up with the zone. Emberz suddenly like, wait, hold up, where did that go? And now having to go all the way back to try and get this fight, gonna allow another jump in as well, and they will get a couple of picks here, but no, Galanka's run is going to end there. Wendell versus Love Trial. Now the highlight here, as Wendell going to try to find a pick, but no, not going to do so. Zolo coming in to support their teammate, and it looks like Red Emberz finding themselves in a lockout position once again, but this time it seems like it's for real.
Yeah, the zone has to be flipped here. Zolo right beneath the ledge. Reef Slider is used, so they can't use it for zone. They have to paint through it, and Coronavirus is right there to finish it off.
Yeah, a valiant effort there nonetheless. I really didn't even see Galanka snake on through there. That caught me by surprise, that's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. I just saw a trail as the Reef Slider was going, and I was like, wait, what's going on back there?
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. So despite the knockout there, kind of got a little bit of everything nonetheless. You got a lockout, you got some sneaky movements there, some clutch zone flips. So that match was kind of just all over the place. But nonetheless, Red Emberz coming out on top as we get geared up for game number 6, Tower Control on Hagglefish Market. I guess the question that remains now, that we've pretty much answered everything else we could for the evening, is what other shenanigans are these teams going to bring out?
Well, I wonder where the gold arrow spray is.
You know, we need some gold arrow spray. I agree.
Yeah.
Gold arrow spray needs its representation. I don't know if we've actually seen it this season. I would have to check the stats on that one. But we miss gold arrow spray.
You say that when J Money is right here on PSU.
You know what? I forgot about Jay. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Jay used silver arrow spray. Is it gold arrow spray?
Jay uses gold. The Booyah Ball.
Okay, gotcha. I was thinking silver. But
Silver is
no,
fire.
you're correct.
Yeah.
So, anyways, these teams are gonna play out these last 2 games, and then everybody can go to bed. Because tomorrow is a school day, a work day. So I think folks are ready to call it an evening, but it's been a fantastic night so far, Vapor. With all the matches that we've seen up to this point, it's been quite the show.
It has definitely been a show. I've been vibing here for about 4 hours now. Probably closer to 5 if you want to include off-stream stuff, but
yeah.
I've been
bless
here
your heart, Vapor.
Bless my heart. I have class in like 10 hours.
Hey, I guess I'm on the West Coast, so I do have a work meeting in about 11 hours. So still got a little bit of time to relax before the work week starts once again, as we look at these compositions. And hey, they hurt us. They hurt us, Vapor.
They definitely did. You want the silver arrow spray? You got one. You want a gold arrow spray? You got one as well. There's an inkjet.
Yeah.
There's an inkjet for Galanka as well, going over to that ballpoint.
Absolutely. So I do actually like when teams go for the quad splatling, because splatlings are really diverse. and I don't think we give Splatlings enough credit for that. So I really do like the direction that this quad Splatling composition is going, as they do find themselves all the way up to that 35-point remaining mark. So a great start there for the Reef Runners, as they're going to be trying to get another couple of picks here. No, they go 2 down. So this will be a tower reset. The remaining Splatlings going to have to play back just a bit, as they're not in the position yet to start finding some aggression. Of course, you do have Zolo on that Carbon Deco as well. That's going to make things pretty difficult when you just need to watch for someone basically holding forward on you, and you're not really the type of weapon to combat that directly.
Yeah, it's definitely rough. Splatlings are good at shutting down a rush,
nice.
but they're not really too good at shutting down anything that flies from above them, like an Inkjet or a Zuka.
And we do see Red Emberz getting the lead here, and they actually are going to be looking for the knockout. Squib Kid trying to get on the tower actually does so. I thought they were going to go down to the Reef slider there. Somehow staying alive, finally going to get rolled over by the Carbon. And this tower is actually reeling back right now. The Inkjet as well doing a fantastic job trying to just get some separation here, but will get shut down on the recall. And now with this Inkzuka coming out as well, they're looking to put this one to bed, but no. Taka doing a great job of trying to get on that tower, not able to do so. And this will be Red Ember's game once again. But honestly, Reef Runners was cooking there for a minute.
Yeah, they had a really nice opening. Like using the weapon advantages that they had, as Splatlings are good at stopping a rush, and that's what Red Emberz did early on. They just tried to rush down.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is exactly what they were going for here. And we, it was definitely a really interesting composition, and I think they actually did really well with it. Obviously Red Emberz had a little bit more diversity there to pull off some more shenanigans and hold forward effectively. So there was a direct counter there. But nonetheless, it was impressive nonetheless, actually, how well they were able to hold on and get a massive push off also.
Yep, definitely. And now we are going to Rainmaker Scorch Gorge up next, where playing aggressive can definitely help you, especially when you get past that first checkpoint.
Mm-hmm. You're correct. So you do need to be fairly aggressive here. That choke point leading right up to the knockout is just so difficult to navigate. It's gonna take a special kind of gimmick to pull this one off, and I'm not quite sure what the answer to that is, as both of these teams are clearly at the stage of, hey, let's have some fun, let's just pull something out and see if it works. So I don't know what the best gimmick composition is for this one, but I am excited to see what they cook up.
It'll definitely be interesting. Gimmick wise, probably something like rollers or brushes would be the best, because of how easy they are to go fast across a downward area or even into a pit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you absolutely correct there. So they are actually fairly slow to queue up here, so it doesn't seem like, I don't know, it seems like they're putting a fair bit of thought into this. I don't know whether to be concerned. But I guess all of our questions will be answered here in about 10 seconds once the game auto-readies the remaining members in this lobby.
Oh, goodness. This going to be interesting on what we see. There's pencils, and there is brushes and rollers.
Oops. All pencils and dynamos and paintbrush?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
So, early on, the pencils are actually the ones that take control here.
Gosh.
Oh no, oh Nintendo, please fix this. Oh, see, this is what we needed to see in the World Championship this weekend.
What teams are this? So we have team Illinois State versus Team Cal Poly Pomona. Got it. They're trying their best to be the winners of Worlds out here. And look at all these pencils just trying to rush through. Cliff almost getting it.
This should be a case study for Nintendo to understand that the pencils need to be nerfed. Don't mind that it's a dynamo paintbrush composition on the other side, but 4 pencils clearly are overpowering, and we need to do something about it. So it's honestly, this may have been more pencils than we saw in the World Championship.
Oh gosh.
I was low-key disappointed that we didn't see more pencil in the World Championship, but both relieved and disappointed. So we're definitely getting our fix in here.
Yeah, they were ready for this quiz. They were definitely.
Oh man, yeah, no, that's they did the thing. So Red Emberz will go ahead and conclude their evening here. I guess if you want to look at the span of 21 games, I think they went something like 16-5, or I'm not actually entirely sure. It was like 17-4 around there, I should say. I think they dropped the 2 to Night Sharks, and I think they dropped an extra game to Long Beach in the play all 7. So phenomenal evening, actually, when you consider every single game, including the friendly gimmick ones. But they will go down in the record book here as 4-0, 4-1, 4-0. So, hey, that's another big run here in the books paper.
Yeah, we had it in Season 3, now we have it here in Season 5. Next time, will we have it in Season 7? I don't know. We'll check it back in a year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I believe, this is about the 1-year anniversary of the last big run, correct? Yeah. We're right at around that time. So we'd have to go check the date exactly, but I think we're actually pretty darn close.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Florida Gulf Coast University Thunderbirds for doing that in Division 2 in Season 3.
And for inspiring, is inspired the right word here?
Is it?
I don't know if inspire is quite the term here, as this is honestly a gauntlet.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna say this is a gauntlet from hell. I don't know if I would willingly subject myself to this kind of run, but nonetheless, it is fantastic to see, and it is fun both times that we've done this.
It often is. We love the long streams, and it is getting close to 1 a.m. Central. It seems like these teams want to do a drip pick to call it a night. So we will.
That's pretty funny.
We'll definitely let them do that, and let's wrap it up here. Just get almost 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific. A lot later than normal. You guys can find myself on Twitter and Twitch at V4P0R_SPL. DRF, you're often here, but where can other people find you elsewhere?
So first of all, you can go and find me on Twitter at DRF_Splatoon and on Twitch at TritonDRF. But per usual, you can find me right here on the CCA channel covering all things collegiate Splatoon. Thank you so much to everyone that stuck around. We tend to always get a great audience here for these odd time matches for whatever reason. So I guess the college community comes out in full force at true gamer hours, as I will say here. So thank you all for the continuous support. So let's go ahead and send this one home, Vapor, as I would like to get you to bed. These guys are going to go ahead and do a drip pick. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, well, wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching the CCA quadruple header this evening. We will be back next week for some reschedule week matchups. You have a good night. You have a good night, everyone.